Can I get my door? Sorry. Hello, everybody. Want to wish you a good evening. It's Compass Games Town Hall episode number 8. Today, September 17th, 2020. Again, my name is John Kranz, and it's a pleasure to be hosting another episode. We'll be joined by Bill Thomas of Compass Games shortly. Just as usual, I want to make a few quick announcements and some housekeeping. First of all, if you're on YouTube or Facebook, you'll have that comment thread during this live stream. That's where you can post any questions or comments. And I'm going to do my level best to try and remember where those comments and questions are as they all come in. It's always a bit of a challenge, but I'll always try to do my best not to miss any questions. If I miss your question near the end, I'd say just maybe post it again. That will help me find it okay. And also just want to go through the schedule really quickly. So as you can see right above me here, Dawn's Early Light, The War of 1812. We're going to be starting to ship that game tomorrow, Friday the 18th. So we're happy to be getting that game out. Also up above me here, we have presently on Kickstarter. We'll talk a little bit more about this game as well in just a moment. Coalition. And then you'll notice here we've got the number 16. And that's basically because since last week when you joined me last Thursday, I think it was a week ago, for episode number 40 of Compass Games Live, we started our pre-order palooza and we did about 7 titles. And since then, we've done another 9. So we've got 16 new pre-order titles, which I'll talk about here in a moment. So lots of things happening for sure. So let's go ahead and actually take a real quick look at the schedule. And as you can see here, as I mentioned, Dawn's Early Light, actually that date should be saying September 18th. So that date is off. So I should have had that updated. So Dawn's Early Light will be shipping tomorrow as far as upcoming titles go. And then you can see for October, we have 3 releases slated: An Attrition of Souls, The Korean War, and then we have our next issue of Paper Wars, issue number 96. Probably the biggest change you'll see is added to the pre-order list. As I told you, I wasn't quite sure how I could manage in any conceivable fashion and in an orderly fashion. How the heck am I going to show all these pre-orders that I know are coming? So you will see here the list of all 16 pre-order titles that we've added in the past week plus. So you can easily navigate to them to find out more about them. Also, another quick reminder, as I always like to point out, our newsletter goes out typically once a week. If you just go to that left column where you see the nice bright orange yellowish box, you just need your email address, confirm you're a human being, and hit subscribe, and we'll send you our latest newsletter. And we sent this one out just FYI this morning for the 17th. So again, we announced Coalition as now live on Kickstarter. It's also been on pre-order. So if you've pre-ordered it already, you don't need to do a new pledge. If you've got your pre-order in, we've got a preview of the rules, just like also on the Kickstarter page. And then again, we're shipping tomorrow. Dawn's Early Light starts shipping tomorrow. And then, of course, we always like to talk about what our next live broadcast is, which is this one right here, Compass Games Town Hall number 8. And then we started the old pre-order palooza last week. As you can see here, you can watch the recording of the 7 different titles that we announced live, episode 40. So that's available as well. So that's a little bit about what you can receive in your inbox once a week just by subscribing. It helps us keep in touch with you and let you know what's happening. Here is the Kickstarter page, by the way, for Coalition. So thanks for those that are backing us through Kickstarter. Again, the video, it just went up live there. Nice to see that. So thank you for that. But as you can see here on the Kickstarter page, there is always going to be a video. The game's in the warehouse, so you can see the actual game with all the components in the video. So I definitely recommend you do that. It's a strategic level game covering all the years of the Napoleonic Wars, and it's doable in one evening. So again, lots of great information in here. Again, just check out the link. If you're not subscribed to the newsletter yet, again, you'll get that information in our newsletter because we'll be, again, mentioning it, and Kickstarter is going to be going on for quite a few days. So that pretty much covers the gambit of things. And then as a final reminder from our website, which helps us for every town hall meeting we do every 2 weeks. You can see this little talk to us, which is me sort of waving in the bottom right-hand corner there. And that is a great way that we can find out what questions you may have. And I just wanted to take a moment. I haven't done this before, but I think it's high time I do it. So this is for the past 2 weeks. So since our last town hall meeting, I want to thank everybody on this list. These are all the wonderful customers that we have. And of course, not everybody's throwing us a kiss or a smiley face. We love getting critical feedback or hard questions to make us better. That always keeps Bill on his toes. So, we take all feedback, all questions. We try to get back to you within 24 hours. And then we use your comments for this town hall session. So again, I want to thank everybody. These are the people, again, in the last 2 weeks who have contacted us at least once by using that talk to us now button that you see in the bottom right pictured there. And that's from our homepage of our website is how you can get to that. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring in Bill Thomas. And Bill, let's get Compass Town Hall episode number 8 officially started.
Okay. Well, hi, everybody. I think that in 4 days, I think it becomes fall, correct? Is it the 20th or 21st?
I don't know the answer to that, so I'm going to have to look at the comments. The comments still help us out here on what day fall starts.
Wearing my fall outfit. It's hot. It's very hot, but I wanted to get into that.
Yeah, you got the nice little plaid charcoal color gray. Looks very nice.
Okay, couple of things we might as well get right into it. Okay, we want to thank John for putting up all the pre-orders. Okay, did a great job. Okay, and we appreciate everything he does. Okay, but what people don't know is Billy, while John was doing all that, Billy was working on the catalog. Okay, and obviously, so Bill did a great job on the catalog. It's all done, and it actually is shipping. It's at the printer today, so it should be in the mailbox. Should start seeing in the mail in about a week and a half. Okay. And we're doing something different with this catalog is that you don't need to use a coupon code. I got rid of that, okay, because it's just I don't know. I just thought it was time to be different. So we don't have a coupon code. So you'll get, when the sale's turned on, you'll just go in there and see the prices that you're going to pay. So you don't have to put in a coupon code. The other thing is it's going to be 35% off all holiday is the holiday price for all in-stock games. And obviously you can pre-order all that good stuff. The other thing I want to mention is John gets a lot of emails. Okay, 90% of them I end up answering. Okay?
True.
Which is like a duplication of duties, and it just doesn't always work because he'll give me an email that I've already answered. So if you have emails, okay, about release dates, about customer service issues, send them to sales@compassgames.com. Sending them to John just means he'll send them to me, and people have already emailed me. I've taken care of them. So it's just a duplication of duties. And we're trying to get you these games out. And so I appreciate any issues that you have. And then if I do need John, I will send it to him. But let us be the filter of that. Okay, I think it would save a lot of time corporately corporately, we're not a corporation, but it'd save a lot of time at Compass, and we'd appreciate. So if you have questions, email sales@compassgames.com. Now, as many people know, my emails are not, how should I say this? Are not like fuzzy, and I don't say a lot of things in my email. I'm a person who is short and to the point. So don't take when I answer an email in a sentence that it's just who I am, and I've always been that way. So
I was going to add, I get emails from you where there's a subject line and no body. So the subject line says what it needs to say, and that's it. It's blank. And
yeah,
I'm off and running. So yeah, if you get an email from Bill with one sentence, you might be beating out what I get. So you're getting special treatment.
Don't be offended because a lot of people will write 2-3 paragraphs or 3 sentences. I don't do that. It's just so that's really where we're at. So any issues like that, it just helps us save time. And I know John is like the head person out there who you see a lot. Okay, but we can bypass some of the questions. Okay, the other thing is I get a lot of questions about our pre-order system, and I think I mentioned before that we're moving away from that, and we'll be in our new website probably in January. After the new year, we'll be up in a new website with a new pre-order system. If the pre-order system right now does not let you cancel orders, so it's all you have to do is email me, and I'll just go in there and cancel, and you get a cancellation. So it's no. So if you need to cancel an order, so send me an email saying. And we get a lot of questions on people say, "Oh, I can't log into my email account. It's not giving me a password." Not on the pre-order, but our website. And 95% of the time is you don't have a address, you don't have an account set up. You must have come in as a guest or did a pre-order and didn't put an account in. But 95% of the time I email people back and say, yeah, we don't have an account under that email address. Okay, so those are really the computer issues that we have. And the other issue that we've gotten a lot of is what's happening with the games we have on pre-order now. What? Why'd you put your thumbs down?
No, I was pointing at this message to say thank you.
Oh, it comes down like I'm doing a bad job.
No, never. And everybody's letting us know tonight where they're joining us from. So one or two people overseas, I think, but everybody else stateside so far. Not too many from Canada tonight yet. I think they're being shy.
Okay, good job, John. So I think a good thing to do is go alphabetically, and we'll do this over the next couple so people get an understanding of where we are. Air and Armor, which was by Bruce Maxwell. It was going to be a game that was going to be quick to get out. And then he finds out that the terrain he used for the first game is totally different than the terrain, because somebody contacted him and said, hey, I have a map of the actual terrain of that area in Western Germany, and it's totally different. So he rearranged the terrain on the game, and now we need to play test it. Okay, so it's not. So that's why the holdup for Air and Armor happened. Okay, and we're looking at that probably early next year, which probably first quarter next year for that one. But that's one, again, we thought was going to be easy. The designer, we had it all done. It was ready to go to production, and then the designer gets this information that the terrain was wrong back in 1982. So he wanted to rechange it. And so that's where we are with that. Okay. Battle Hymn Volume Number 2. That's a thorn in my side. Okay. Eric Lee Smith has been working on it, and this should have been done a year ago, but it's, again, 2 games with a solitaire system. So the solitaire system's taken a long time. Okay. He told me he should have it done by the end of October to go into production. So I don't see Battle Hymn 2, because delays always happen. So I don't see Battle Hymn 2 actually coming out until mid next year. Okay, but remember, it's 2 games plus a solitaire system. So again, we if the game isn't done, we don't rush things. Okay, and I know people want to get those games, but you'll see that some games move up in the production, some games lag. And there's a reason why games lag. It's not because we're not working on them. It's just they're taking longer than we thought. The next one is Bismarck. Bismarck is actually all done, ready to go to production. We gave it to an outside source who has had no input in the game to run it through and make sure the rules are right. So he actually got that today. So he's never seen the game. So we want him to go through and see if he can. Oh, nice. Put that picture up. I like the picture. Get rid of me and put the picture up. Oh, yeah. So Bismarck probably is going to be mid next year. Okay. The next one is Combat 2. Again, Combat 2 is they're working on it. They've been working on it for the last year.
Yeah.
It's as big as Combat 1 was. Okay, and again, Combat 2 is probably going to be somewhere in mid next year. Okay, but that's going along good. Okay, Crusades and Revolution Deluxe. We will have a second printing of that. Okay, probably sometime mid next year. Oh, Death in the Trenches.
Oh, you're going too fast for me. I'm not going to be able to keep up. There's Crusades and Revolution, Death in the Trenches. Keep going, Bill.
I get a lot of emails about Death in the Trenches, and that Ben Madison, and we all know Ben. Okay, that has lagged too. Okay, that should have been out a year ago. Okay, he actually emailed me 4 days ago or 3 days ago and said that is all they're doing is writing the rules again, going through another draft of the rules, but that game is ready almost to be handed in. So he's telling me by the end of October, that game will be handed in for production. Then what happens is it goes to China, and that's about a 4-5 month period of time. So again, a game that we wanted out a year and a half ago, but that is coming out again around mid 2021. Okay, Devil's Boat. We all like that game. That did very well on pre-orders. That game is actually on its way here. So that will be in the first quarter of 2021.
Yeah, I had a few questions about Devil Boats for sure. That came in the last 2 weeks. So yeah, glad we're covering that one tonight. Perfect.
Yeah, so that's a good one. Enemy Action Kharkov is that actually in art as we speak. And again, it's 3 games in one. And I must have thought about this for hours. Do I release one of the games and do 2 games add-on, or do we just do all 3? 2 of the games are totally done. We're waiting for them to wrap up the final play testing on the 3rd game. But the first 2 games have already been in artwork. So that will all be out probably again. I say mid next year, meaning it might be from June to like September, but that's going to be next year, definitely. Okay.
And then China was Death in the Trenches. That's China. Somebody was asking about.
Oh yeah, Death in the Trenches of China. Yeah. So like I said, he's handing it in before October 31st, but then we have to go to China. So that's why we're looking at probably April, May of next year because
right.
Okay. Here's another one. I get a lot of stuff. Engage and Destroy. This has to be the game that's been on pre-order for the longest period of time ever. I think this one, nobody's even close to this. Okay, this one takes the cake. And the problem is, it's just one of those games that we've had play testers, we've had developers, they've quit, and we have a developer who's trying to get more play testing done. And I think I sent you an email this week, John, in regards to that.
Right.
Okay,
right.
Did you call for play testing? But that's one that's just, it's coming. We're working on it, but oh my God, that's just.
Here's a timely question from Jeff Newell, who's joining us on Facebook tonight. He loves kudos on Butterfield's Ardennes game, but the counters are thin. Are they going to be thicker counters in the Kharkov game when it's released?
Okay, Jeff, I'm going to tell you, but I have toilet paper thicker than. Okay, well we could debate about that. Okay, but irrelevant of that comment. Okay, all games, and I think I've said this, all games going forward have thick counters. Okay, so
right.
we've talked about this in numerous issues. So yes, all the games will have thick counters.
Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
Jeff has a follow-up.
Yeah,
we already know that, Jeff. That's all right.
But I didn't go out on that.
He was getting a little worried there. It's all good, Jeff. It's It's all good. Keep the questions coming.
Is,
Keep Bill on his toes tonight. There you go. Come on.
But yeah, so that's good. Okay.
How's Greg posting a comment? He has no time to comment tonight. He's too busy doing designs.
I'll tell you, I never see anything like it. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so that covers Engage and Destroy. Looks great. I love the. I want to keep this picture up. I don't want to hide it because it looks so nice.
And that holds the for the longest game on pre-order at Compass Games ever.
Yeah.
And I can't even tell you when I can't even give you a date.
So Greg's wondering, is he going to get titanium counters in his next set of games?
No, Greg, you're not. Everybody else will, but you won't. Because no, but the funny thing is, oh God, here's the funny thing. There's going to be 2 sets of counters coming out. Okay, one set is done in China, one set is not done in China. The ones that are done in China are so finely cut.
Yeah, they just punch board.
Okay, that we have to shrink wrap them so they stay in the so they don't fall out. The good thing is, okay, so you won't have a problem punching them out. I'll tell you that much. But what you're going to do is you're going to get the game, and they're all going to be shrink wrapped in the game, so you don't lose anything. So you've got them all. But when you take them out, they do. It's very finely cut, so they do the strips. They don't come out individual counters; they come out in strips. Okay, so now the other counters that we're having made are thicker, and they don't come out as easy. Okay, you punch them; they're like normal counters. Okay, so we got 2 sets of counters from 2 different places that were like Korea. I just finally approved those after months of going through it. Okay, and those are thick counters that that you punch them out, and you have to punch each individual one out, but they won't be in plastic bags.
Sounds good.
In shrink wrap.
Okay.
For Motherland, the Russian front. Again, they should have been out. And here's what I hear from John. Every time I ask John, because it's John's project, I must ask him. And here's what I say. I don't even need to wait for his response, because here's what he says. Well, I'm waiting for a translator. This has been, you give me the same response.
I have an update.
I
just want to change one verb. Instead of I need a translator, I have a translator, and he's about 70% done with the translation to English. So, booyah! There you go. We're getting there. We're making progress. We've got a new translator.
That is all just a translator. Okay.
Then we got to proof it and I'm gonna have Moss look at it, because he can sort of read English from rules. He just can't write them, but he's gonna help us make sure the stuff actually, the meaning hasn't changed or anything like that. So he says he's about 2 weeks away from a first draft of the rules. So there's the War for the Motherland update for you officially.
Hitler's Last Gamble is again a John project. That is all I get every time I ask him. I go, John, what's up? And it's like, no, I don't even need to ask him, because he repeats the same thing every time, and months go by. Well, we got the map done. It looks good. That's what I get. Okay, nothing else. So,
we're on to the counters. Counters are Ilya's been working on them with Danny Parker and team, and Rich Hoffman and a bunch of guys, and counters are looking really good. I probably don't have enough time to show you the counters tonight. I could show some of the new progress being made, but we've got a long list of games, I think, Bill. So I'll probably hold off on showing stuff so you can give these updates.
Now, Imperial Tide is actually coming out. Okay, it's actually going to go. I heard that in 2 weeks I should get everything that I could go to the printers with. And he did do a historical setup for that, right?
It's actually by default it's historical. There's no there's no free deployment from Gregory. Gregory's here online as well, so he can keep me honest. But it's purely a historical setup for the game from the get-go. So yeah, there you go. And the rules layout is pretty much done. I just have to put the rules index on the back page, do a last proofing round, and the game is officially ready for the printer. So great news on Imperial Tide. We're very excited about this one.
Now, here's a question I'm going to ask everybody. Indian Ocean will be out right around the first of the year. Okay. Here's one of the issues. Okay, in Indian Ocean, because it's the same system as South China Sea. Okay, we use the South China Sea example in Indian Ocean because it was a good example. And now here's an interesting thing. Okay, part of me says I have to put something in the box that says that's not a mistake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That we're using this because it's part of a system, and it was a good example, South China Sea example, and you don't need the counters to follow it. You know what I'm saying? You could follow it even if you don't have South China Sea because the counters are provided. So that's something that I have up in the air because I think that if people look at it and they're going to say, "Oh, this is a mistake. It's a South China Sea example in an Indian Ocean rule book." Okay, so I think I'm going to have to put something in the box that said, "No, that's what we wanted." Okay, and so but Indian Ocean looks like it's going to be the first. This might be one of the two games that are released right after the beginning of the year.
Well, that's great news. So we'll see this one bright and early after the new year.
Basically, I would say Indian Ocean is about 75% done in the U.S. Okay, so it's not a China product. Okay,
Gotcha.
but some China, like cards and I think the counters we had to do in China because we lost our counter guy in the US for a while. Okay. So here's a good one. Now Kharkov Battles was probably right up there with Enemy Action, and the good news is the game is actually all done. Okay, and it's actually in production. So yay for that, because that was the second to longest pre-order. And that's part of the fall blouse system, but it's a standalone game. Okay, like I said, this one's 75% made in the US. Okay, it's a standalone game, but it can be matched up with full blouse.
Yeah.
Okay, to do that. So that's good. That's
good. That's a good one. We'll take that as a win. Put it in the win column.
Yep. Oh, and then NATO. Bruce Maxwell. When we talked to him initially, oh yeah, I'm not going to change anything. Okay, this is like Aaron Armour. I'm not going to change anything. And then they get in there and they find out there's more information.
Yeah, Order of Battle totally made
Order of Battle
totally changed the game. Yeah.
Yeah, and everything. I think we're going to rule books, right?
Yeah, we're officially going to rule booklet layout, and these are two rule booklets. Like one's sort of like, call it a playbook with very detailed order of battle research, designer notes. They're both very thick books. Not meant to say it's complicated, but Bruce Maxwell has a sort of a lawyer style of writing rules where he doesn't allow you to find a hole in the rules no matter what the situation. Like everything is literally covered down to whatever. Like he's got every instance. The playtester said we can't find a question in here not answered. So the rules are probably double the size they needed to be, but that's his writing style.
Because the funny thing is, the first quarter of 2021, we're going retro back in a time machine to 1980 or 1980s because we're going to have Doomsday, we're going to have NATO, we're going to have Third World War, and I think there's another one I can't remember. Okay, but all three of those will be out in the first quarter. So
Mo's got Bruce Maxwell figured out here. Mo, you got to interview Bruce Maxwell and use that line on him. So, not changing anything. But it's all for the good. It's going to be, I think somebody was asking earlier for Aaron Armour. Well, since you changed the map for Aaron Armour, does that mean you're going to have the original map from Aaron Armour from West End Games as well as the new map? And the answer there is absolutely not. We're not doing that because the map is more accurate in Aaron Armour. We had somebody who was stationed in the Army, one of the Army locations, U.S. Army in Germany, and he took photos. As I told Bill today, he took photos of the terrain and he gave the hex number from Aaron Armour. And he said, Bruce, you've got this all wrong. Here's the map on the hex and here's the photo of the area. And Bruce is like, oh, this is awesome. I'm going to change everything because the photos were from the 80s. So that's what changed the whole game. And the play balance got messed up because the terrain changed. So So there will be no original map. It's all it's a better map, much more accurate, and newly play tested balanced scenarios. And that's for Air and Armor, not for NATO that I'm showing on screen. That's for Air and Armor.
The thing at Air and Armor is he's already working on other games in the system. So once Air and Armor comes out, the next one will come out hopefully within 9 months, 10 months. So we're going to have hopefully quite a few in that series. So
that's good. Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Okay. We got a lot of questions on Pacific Tide, Zeppelin, and African Campaign when those reprints are coming out.
Right.
Okay. And I'm going to, the one I can commit to today is African Campaign. Okay. The other two, I haven't really, we're waiting for more interest in those. Okay. But right now, African Campaign, I made the decision to do a deluxe edition with mounted maps, thicker counters, all the errata put in the rule book and everything. It's going to be.
I'm going to update the product page because I don't have all that nice news. This is like a nice news update. You're basically decided to expand it to a deluxe edition. I have to make the product page reference it now as a deluxe edition.
So that's going to be deluxe. And I think the next one, and so that's going to go to China. Okay. So that, because of that mounted map. So that's probably mid next year. Okay. Pacific Tide will probably be the next. Okay. But again, that will go, we're probably going to do, and don't hold me to it because I just don't, but I'm looking at that's going to also go to probably an updated version, deluxe. So it's not; those aren't probably going to be straight reprints at the end of the day. So so that's good, right?
Yeah, that's good news. So I'm happy to hear African Campaign's getting deluxe treatment. So, that raises the question people are going to ask: what's the difference? Again, can you please summarize the difference between what this new edition is going to be like from the original African Campaign? What the difference is?
Okay, the difference is it's going to have mounted maps. Okay, it's going to have thick counters. The errata will be in the rule book. Okay, so it won't be a straight reprint where it's just errata is which we'll call it. Is
just
errata
slip
sheet.
of paper. Yeah.
Okay, so the whole game, the whole component wise, the game's going to be different. Okay, and that it's not what I consider a straight reprint, which is just exactly the old one with an errata sheet
thrown in
like that.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, so that's good.
Yep.
The other one, Korean War. That's another one that again what I did with Korean War, which put us way back, is I actually had the counters printed months ago. Okay, and I dumped them all. Okay, cost me whatever amount of money it cost me. Okay, I threw them all out because I wanted to go. This was the first game that was going to have thicker counters in the domestic, not the China. Okay, so then I had an issue is I had to find a printer, a die cutter. So that's really the hold up on Korea. Now we're waiting for the rule books. I finally got the die cut counter to people to do it right. So I know people aren't going to be happy with this, but this is going to be towards the end of the year. Okay, because we still have the rule book to get done.
It'll be worth the wait. I mean, the counters are going to be so much nicer and everything, and it gives me an excuse to do an additional proofing round that I normally wouldn't even consider doing. But if I've got the time, why not? So it will make it worth the wait for Korean War. Somebody had a question here. Jack is asking about African Campaign, and as you mentioned, it's not a straight reprint. So yes, Jack, the African Campaign, I'm going through the rules, player aid cards, map, everything, and everything that we have as errata is getting corrected and printed. So this is a true new edition of the African Campaign, just to answer your excellent question.
And the only thing I want to say, because I think I need to, because my understanding with African Campaign was there was no map issues. It was the turn track.
There was something on the turn track that was wrong, mainly.
Turn track issue.
But the good news is, since you're being so kind to let us sort of, do a deluxe version. Todd Davis has been following the game closely as the artist, and we received feedback that some of the terrain was hard to read, the placement of it. So he's improving. He's going to make some improvements to the map. Not corrections. They're not corrections. They're not errata, but he's going to do some things that he think people will like, and he won't introduce new errors into the map. It's the main message I want to leave. That's always the worry. When you make changes to something, it's going to lead to new errors that weren't there before. So we're going to try to avoid that for sure.
The other thing we get is War in the Pacific. Again, War in the Pacific and the reprint of War in Europe are going to be right around the first of the year. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the first of the year is really going to be a big, and I think I said this, I think we're looking at least 3 games in January, 3 games in February, 3 games in March. Okay. So November and December, I think we have Attrition of Souls and maybe another game or whatever, but most of those games are going to fall into next year. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think everybody's going to be happy about the thicker counters. I am. I think, and the thicker counters are going to be Paper Wars. Okay, we do have now the other thing here are the 2 that Western Front Ace, which I have the same question, John.
Yes. Let me go to that page because I want to look something up because it will help provide an answer. So let me explain. So it's a good news thing, but it has to do with the project overall. So let me, there we go. That's what I need. Okay, so I'll show this just for everybody. So let me explain. So when you look at the Western Front Ace, and Greg's here, he'll comment on this for sure. So Greg will agree with me that Western Front Ace is by far the largest game in terms of components and grandeur that he's done to date. And because of that, the artwork is considerable. And you can look here. It's hard to see on screen, so I'll read it out. There's 21 double-sided aircraft displays. In other words, there's 42 different aircraft types in the game. So we're just wrapping up, and each one has its own detailed silhouette, detail view. So basically the artist, Ian Wedge, has been working for the past few months. The template's done on the displays. That's easy. It's the actual aircraft silhouettes. And the artistry behind that, I'll just have Greg. I think we've shown some of these samples already, but we'll have, when we do an update, when we get closer to release for Western Front Ace, this is the heavy lifting part of that game. It's getting these 42 aircraft silhouettes done, and they're basically done. I think Greg will probably type an update for me here if you want to, Greg, as far as I think we're near the last 10 or so. And then we're done with all those aircraft displays out of 42. So that's the update for you on that one, Bill. I know you're talking to your right-hand man there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I was on. The other thing is Schutztruppe.
Yeah, Schutztruppe. That one I wish was further along, but to be honest, it's been taking a while for the artist to make the necessary updates. So that one's been on forced hold, but I've been trying to gingerly motivate the artist to say we really need this done. So it's been about a month now. So we're good. We're raring to go, but yeah, that's one where sometimes real life gets in the way. So that one's been a bit of a struggle, like the actual campaign, but
yeah,
we're on it. We've got good support people. We just need the artwork so we can get to the next step.
So
on that one,
here's an interesting story which people might find boring, but I thought I'd tell you because I don't know why. Okay, in Massachusetts, there's a big printing company that's known worldwide. Okay, so I decide that I'm going to contact them and see if they could do it because it's all local. Okay. So what I'll tell you. And I'll tell you, I was amazed at the non-responsiveness and the non-willingness. Now, this is an American company, okay, right up the street from us. Okay, and initially they said, well, everything, we need a print run of 5X. I won't give it because then I don't want to give out who it is. Okay, we need a print run of X number, which is ridiculous. Okay, so I go, well, could you do this? Not well, yeah, send us the stuff. Oh my God, I'm telling you, from a customer service point of view, their prices came in higher than the local people I'm using for printing. And oh, well, come back to us when your print runs are this amount. But the point is, yeah. And I go, so you don't want the business. You're going to sit there and do nothing in your plant. Okay. And I'm willing to pay, because forget China I'm not asking them to compete with China because they were I said, I'm asking you to compete domestically. So I'm willing to pay double or triple what I would pay in China. And I'm telling you, I was amazed in how aloof, and how they didn't care about getting more business, and how they really didn't care. And I'm going to tell you, I'm no China fan. I'm no overseas fan. I'm an American, and that's why even these games I do as much in America as I can. Okay. And I'll tell you, China falls all over you. China is responsive. China is always willing to do stuff to help you. And these guys I'm telling you, I have been in business for a long time. I've dealt with a lot of other businesses. I have never seen anybody where you want to give them business and they have downtime. I go, you could put me in, and they didn't want to even talk. And
here's a related question from Jack to what you're just saying here. So Bill, he's asking, he's amazed by the issues you guys are experiencing with suppliers, especially for the counters. Is it hard? So his question is it hard to get a steady, good supplier as to wargaming when you say it's relatively low print runs compared to their other businesses, businesses that printers deal with?
I found somebody, like all our printing in the US, we found them, and they were good suppliers for years. We still do boxes. We still do maps in the US. We still do a lot of things in the US. And you want to know something? They are, they are reliable. Okay. The only thing is, and here's the other issue too. Okay. You're always going to get paper maps from us, because when you go to Folder Gap, look, nobody, and I'm not saying nobody, but we do games that a lot of people won't do. We do multiple maps, 4 or 5 map games.
Right.
You can't go to China for those mounted. You can't mount those maps.
The shipping cost would be a little scary, I think.
You want to know something? The box. So my thing is, when people say, and that's why we said 1 map games are all going to be mounted. Okay, but very few companies out there today do a Folder Gap, do a game where there's 4 or 5 map games, and those are going to be paper. And I get a ton of emails where people don't like mounted maps. Okay, people like paper maps. So paper maps are not done because it's cheaper. Paper maps are done because and especially with multiple map games, they're feasible. You can't have how many maps do we have? Doomsday has 3.5 maps.
Doomsday?
Okay? Yeah. And they're full maps with 1 small map. So 3.5. Right. Okay. It's going to go paper. You tell me any other company out there that is doing as normal print runs, normal games of multiple maps, and I don't think there is any. We've always found a niche in what we call monster games or whatever. So we'll always have paper maps for them.
I'm trying to think of traditionally U.S. companies that have done mounted maps for big games, and maybe somebody online can help me out here. But the only thing that's coming to mind for me right now is The Longest Day from Avalon Hill. The big red box had mounted maps. It was a big, big rectangular box. Longest Day. A lot of people have that probably here that are alive with us tonight. But I don't know of too many. I'm talking U.S. based publishers. Maybe in Europe, larger games are, maybe there's some that are mounted because that's how they're all done in Europe anyway. But I can't think offhand of.
No, there's very
Yeah.
few nowadays.
Yeah.
And remember, if I'm doing a 4 or 5 map game mounted, okay, I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to take the risk, okay, of doing stuff on obscure topics. You know what I'm saying? So no, you're always going to have paper maps, okay, and because we do a lot of 2, 3, 4, like Korean War. Korean War is what, 3 maps?
Sorry, I was muted. So Korean War is 4 maps with a heavy amount of overlap because it's a very strange shaped map, the way it is with the peninsula. So it is 4 map sheets, but there's some very heavy overlaps of the map. So I don't want anybody to be overly scared of it's really 4 maps extended fully. It's nothing like that. It's got big overlaps in it. It's because of the shape. But it's 4 maps.
John.
Yes.
You said you muted. So when I talk, you mute me?
Well, my dog's barking behind me because he doesn't like some of my answers. He wants me to have my games done already. So my dog's barking at me every time I give a bad answer. So I was muting myself there.
How many maps do we have for Third World War? Don't we have like 6?
6 maps. Third World War has 6 maps. So if anybody wants a mounted version, I can custom make it for like $800 and I'll ship it out. I'm just kidding. No, it's 4 maps for Europe and 2 maps for Persian Gulf. So 6 maps. And then we add a map that doesn't exist in the original game because Central Russia area isn't really covered. But given how we've configured the maps to make them actually make more sense, we ended up having a big hole in the map. So we basically filled the hole. And now we have 6 full-size maps for Third World. And the maps are done. The maps are done, of course, already. So it's the other stuff getting done for that game. Now everybody's going to get mad at me about Third World War series because it's not done yet, the 4 games. But the maps and the counters are done. Since we're getting there. It's such a big project. It's brutal, but we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. So we can go to some questions if you want, or are there other games, Bill? I don't know if you had other.
Only thing I'll point out is, and Billy says this to me all the time when I'm at the warehouse. We always, because that's where we sit there and talk about stuff. And the mounted map games, okay, this is ironic, okay? The mounted map games for us, okay, compared to the non-mounted map games and the thicker counters to the thin counters of those games, okay, we do far better with the other games in sales. Our mounted map games with thicker counters, you would think, okay, would sell a lot better, okay, and we went through the numbers and they really don't. It's amazing.
It depends on the topic and all that other magical stuff.
It all comes down to if people like the topic, okay, and but we've seen where I thought we were going to do very well with designed in America on box. How about that?
Yeah.
No, we can't. Yeah. See, the problem.
We wouldn't want to confuse anybody to think we're trying to say made in America. They might think we're trying to trick the system. We might get whacked for that one. We might get in trouble or might upset somebody. Maybe, I don't know.
And you have to have 100% of the product.
Yeah, I researched it. So yeah.
If I had the cards done in China and everything else made in the U.S., I can't put that label on.
Yeah. Oh man, I guess Apple's doing it for designed in Cupertino probably, or something like that. Yeah.
Design is a funny word. I can say it's designed. That doesn't mean it's made in the U.S.
Yeah, true.
And being manufactured in the U.S.
Right. Yeah.
So all our games are, unlike, well, no, we have some French designers and those, but okay.
Jeff knows a little bit about some other publishers here. I'm familiar with Lock and Load, and it says produced in America, even though it's printed in China. So I don't know. We don't really comment on other companies, but our policy, Bill and I have had a quick no-brainer call on this one when we saw the regulations, federal statutes, everything 100% has to be made in America. So it was a very short, quick discussion that we had to get rid of that label for some games.
It's very easy for me, and like I said, I've had other businesses, and the key is you never do something wrong that you know is wrong. Yeah. Because there's so many times you get caught for stuff you don't know that's wrong. Okay, so my thing is I'm very conservative. I don't like to take risk. Okay, because I can screw up and not intentionally get caught. Okay, but I'm never going to do anything, and I've always had this philosophy. I'm never going to do anything. I don't on taxes, on everything like that. I don't do anything where I think, okay, I'm doing something wrong.
Right.
Okay, because I don't like that.
Well, I want to say it's I want to thank everybody just real quick. We've got over 100 people online. I think it's for the free game, but we're not quite there yet. But I just want to thank everybody for hanging in there with us so we can give you some updates. We've got a lot of questions, Bill, actually. We got a lot of questions for you, so I need to get to those. Some questions and comments. I'm going to go through a bunch of stuff here, Bill, give everybody some airtime. So thanks, Austin, on Facebook. He's giving us kudos for the designer edition of Decision at Kasserine. So thank you, Austin. That one's got the bigger maps and the 5/8 inch counters and everything. So we're happy to hear you're enjoying. It's one of my favorite games is Decision at Kasserine. So thank you. Thank you so much for that. And then I'm going through. There's so many comments here. It's I'm trying my best because I don't want to miss one. So there was a comment earlier Ardwolf made about the counters falling out of the tree easily, and he said that happened with Jacobite Rising. He was doing a video of the game Jacobite Rising. He does great videos on his YouTube channel, and I guess the counters just probably had already fallen out or something. So yeah, we can definitely relate to that, Ardwolf, for sure, as far as what you're saying there. We haven't done too much as far as Japanese translation stuff. So
I don't think there were any.
Obviously, we're taking our time. This is for Former Motherland. We're going to make sure with Masahiro, and we'll make sure there's proofing and testing to make sure that we're getting the game right. Absolutely. So let's see here again. Going through the comments. Thanks, Jack, for the kind words about one of the pre-order titles we announced. I think last week during Pre-Order Palooza launch party was Eastern Front Operational Battle Squad. You can see the box is already up, and the game shouldn't take too long to get the artwork done for that game as well. So let's see here. Yeah, Bill, did you want to? I'm going through these comments. You want to add anything while I'm going through these comments?
The leader in the pre-orders of the 16.
Yep.
What we'll do. That's how we'll. No, because 16 we don't have enough things. Because I was going to say that's how we could do the.
We'll have to break ties through a number if you want. You could do it.
Yeah, you could do it. If you guess, what the biggest pre-order of the 16 or 17 we've done, okay, who's in the lead right now?
Yeah.
Okay, then you will get it. We're gonna have to do another Dawn's Early Light because that one that came out is
okay. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. So, and then more questions, comments. David over on Facebook, thanks for the contributions to the hobby. I think David's talking about how we sort of fasten your seatbelts time when we do our town hall meetings. We discuss whatever you guys want to discuss is what we discuss. So it's sort of a wild and crazy. We haven't had too many tangents tonight. I'm not sure why that is.
I have stayed on. I don't have a teleprompter. Right?
You don't have it. Let's not get political here now. Try to get a little dig in about the teleprompter. Here we go. Now it's going to get totally derailed. Now, what are you going to say? You're going to do something at Applebee's? You're going to do like a teleprompter at Applebee's session now? Is that we're going to really go there, Bill?
Silent War is up on pre-order too.
Yes, Silent War is on pre. Yeah, absolutely.
That's going to be done in China, mountain map, everything. So.
Yep. Okay, let's see here. Status of Shoots Trooper, we covered that. Greg was giving an update on Western Front Ace. But basically, it's all about the artwork, like I said. So just FY on that. A question from Wayne. he had to get off work here in a bit, so he missed some stuff. What's the next Solitaire game you'll be releasing? That's a great question as far as what we'll be releasing, but I know Imperial Tide is going to be ready
No,
to...
no, the one that will be released first will be Defending America.
Yeah, that's right. Defending America. Yep. Great. Yep. Defending America. Also from Gregory Smith. Defending America. And then, of course, Imperial Tide will be getting ready for the printers as well. So, and then Tom made a comment here. Sensukan. Yes, that's the Japanese U-boat game where you actually, so it's like the Hunters, the Hunted, etc., Raiders of the Deep, but you're now a Japanese sub commander. And that's something Greg's working on. So absolutely. So great comment there. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, we did announce a bunch of Ace series games. Greg being the series designer, of course, and then two of the individuals are actually doing the main design work. Spitfire Ace and Interceptor Ace, the closing chapter. So those are obviously on pre-order. Tuned in late. Eric's asking about Combat 2 update, Bill. So Combat 2 is I think it was around second half, about the middle of next year for Combat.
Yeah, that's great.
So Eric, Combat 2 is looking at middle of 2021, just to let you know, middle of 2021. Again, lots of questions here. I'm going through, trying to get all through here. Yeah, World in Flames, I guess, had some mounted maps. I've heard from people. Thanks for saying that. And then, yeah, Steve Jackson does these huge successful Kickstarters with amazing components that just fit in the trunk of the car. No, I'm joking. Ogre was a huge box, but yeah, I think that was double mounted or triple mounted. It was Ogre was such a big production. Absolutely. Let's see here. Jax makes a comment here. I don't think nationality should govern quality or for the best price when it comes to physical production. It's the brain power, the designer you're really after, and most are American. Yeah, I mean, the design, I mean, obviously, like you said, you can have great components for a game, but if it doesn't stand up, if the topic's not interesting and the game system doesn't strike your fancy, obviously, you're not going to probably want to play the game anymore. Maybe you'll get a good price for it if you sell it in the secondhand market. But, you know, I don't know, Bill, how do you, we don't favor...
No,
we don't favor production quality over designer. It's all sort of part of the product. We don't really separate them out, I guess. Oh, here's something you're going to show, right? So let me zoom in on you here. We got Coalition.
Kickstarter. And this is from a French designer.
French designer. Okay. Yeah.
A mounted map, cards.
Yeah.
Napoleonic War. And then remember I showed you last time Granada. There's another one that's by a French designer. Oh, he's Spanish?
Spanish designer, right?
Yeah. Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and War for America, the pre-order we have up is a Canadian, right? Gilbert Collins.
Yes, Gilbert Collins, War for America. So that's right here. Great segue, Bill. So, so on the map, we'll fix that. So that's no problem. There's actually well, it's a different map. It's a different game. There was another typo we found, but it was a different project. But yeah, don't worry. You guys don't have to worry because these are all draft components, and you know we were going to catch this stuff during proofing for sure. We haven't got to the proofing phase, to be honest, with the map. That was an early draft map. I hope you like the map for War in America. I think it's really, really a beautiful. It's actually two maps. I think it's really wonderful. So other comments here. Yes, you can get mounted maps for the Third World War for $950. So thanks for announcing that, Mo. I'll be taking direct checks and Visa cards and all that. Let's see what else we have here. Let's see here. Steve is asking, we need to check the toe for Solitaire for Vietnam. He mentioned that.
I got nothing on that.
Nothing on that one. Okay, no update on that one yet. So we'll keep that in the one in the hopper. Are you coming out with the combat expansions in the future? So just a reminder, we have Combat 2 on the website right now, which will be released mid-2021 next year. And then there's work being done on a Pacific Theater title as well. Is there an update on Defending America, intercepting the America bombers? Yes, it's at the printers already. And I don't know if we have the date announced on the website yet. Do we have a date for Defending America? I don't believe it's coming in October.
Here's what's going to happen. Okay. And I know we've been a little short with our update on what's being released. Probably in another 30 days, I will have an updated list of what's going to be released probably through April on it. Okay, I'm just waiting for everything to come together. So we will have, because I only think it goes out to the next game right now because of what happens. But in about 30 days, we're going to post what's going to be released over the next 4 or 5 months. So everybody will have plenty of time to pre-order and see what's happening.
Yeah. And Flavius, a nice comment about, in the end, we want to have all interesting topics and games to enjoy. That's what it's all about. That's why we have such diverse topics, I think, really trying to just have something for everybody. And then Art's done some great games, L2 Design, and helped us with Russia Besieged and many other things. So Art, thanks for confirming that. I think we're all on the same page there. Absolutely. And then I guess Greg was catching on to something you said about how you're pretty direct about things. So, and then thanks E4 for the comments about Castring. Glad you're enjoying the game. Absolutely awesome to hear that. What's the status of No Motherland Without? That's the contemporary Korean theater.
Yeah, that's going to be early next year.
Okay, great. Comment from Jack. I'm really intrigued by what I've been reading about Manassas. Yeah, Manassas, again, just the elevator pitch I've told before. This is a really sort of a beloved game that doesn't get much due. But on Board Game Geek, you'll see some of those comments already. So there are some posted comments that people think it's one of the most really intriguing, enthralling systems around that they really enjoyed playing. So definitely we're excited to be doing that game, and you've seen the map that's been posted. That's the other map that had a small spelling error, actually. So the map was posted, and yeah, it's a gorgeous map, just like the original. We're making it look like the original game. Let's see here, Charles. You don't have to behave. You can ask some tough questions. Not a problem at all. Jacobite Rising, absolutely a block game. It's based on the commands and colors system, but it's got specific doctrine in the rules to cover that particular period. And Richard Borg does a great job at handling those specialized rules for whatever the doctrine of the battles is. So definitely check it out. Joe Hardy commented on Silent War. We announced this today. Bill, that Silent War with IGN together, a new deluxe second edition. Everything's getting updated in both games. So yeah, we're absolutely excited about that. Let's see here. If you're doing more for the Motherland, will you be doing other FGA games? Well, actually, we're not doing War for the Motherland. That's actually, but I understand the confusion because there is a fairly large game called War for the Motherland, and then it was called Red Star Rising, I think. It was called something else, another publisher released. But this is actually a single, so this is taking War for the Motherland, putting it all on a single mounted map, 22 by 34 map. It's a new design, which is why we are waiting for the translation work from Japanese to English to be done. But it's Masahiro who does all these games. They're very popular, but it's a new design, so we have to get the translation done. So it is FGA games. That's Bill's decision. He runs the company, but I'm not interested in FGA games because it's basically just copying SPI, and there's really nothing. Well, and it doesn't have a very good reputation, FGA games. At all. At least that's my opinion. I'm not going to say anything too favorable about FGA, but that's just me. But Bill makes all the decisions, so it doesn't matter what I think about that. So, would you folks be allowed to reprint any Avalon Hill titles? So, answer to that question is it depends. If the designer has rights back, we can do it. If it's with Hasbro Wizards of the Coast, typically they're buried and Wizards won't release them. So I already tried to get The Longest Day from Avalon Hill, but I couldn't get that released. Maybe Butterfield can get something released like Hell's Highway. Be great to get that one. But and it's really tough to get games from Hasbro Wizards of the Coast. So those games are sort of locked down, and you almost have to just redo them as new games. Let's see what else we have here. I'm certainly most interested in what Compass has announced for new games in the next year than any other company. So I guess, yeah, we've done 16. We've done 16 pre-order, and again, the reasoning behind, the reasoning behind these 16 games is we have the catalog coming out. We have to make sure that the catalog games are also on the website. So that's why it's sort of a mad dash to get everything in there. Bill, you probably got a proof of the catalog in there, but obviously it's you've got it right there. I think you've got a proof, don't you? I'll zoom in on you here, maybe.
Yep, I like it.
You like the catalog?
I don't know why. Again, this is yeah. So sometimes here's the funny thing. Okay, sometimes in life you make financial decisions. Okay, that really aren't you let emotions take over for you. Okay, and financially, this has never been a great decision, and because I can put a sale online and get more sales than doing a catalog. So it's really just an emotional thing that takes me back to 30 years ago that I like doing. But financially, it's not really a decision that is a good decision. Okay, because I could run a sale online and make a lot more money without outlaying anything.
Right.
Okay, and the catalog does cost, again, a catalog made in America, so printing is expensive and postage is expensive.
Yeah, it is true. The War Europe reprint, yeah, that's coming with the Pacific game release next early next year. I think you said. What was the date?
I remember early next year.
Early next year.
Any reprints are going to have thicker counters.
Yeah, everything that goes through now will for now on the counters are changing basically across the board, even reprints. Because they're printed new. They're printed new with the new supplier.
Print, you still get thicker counters because I don't have access to the other people anymore, and I don't want access to it.
Yep. Wayne, thanks. Defending America, thanks for the nice comments. Flavius excited about the Japanese sub game that Greg's doing. Thanks for those comments. It's not on pre-order yet, so that one will be coming in the future. Thanks for the props on Russian Campaign, the original classic 74 edition. Thank you so much. Any thoughts on reprinting Air Superiority? GDW, you have to look at it, honestly. Patient Zero, thanks for joining us on YouTube. Not sure, but we could potentially always reprint GDW stuff. We have a special relationship with those titles to get a hold of them. So that is definitely possible. Let's see. Applebee's, of course, is making the rounds again. Bill, you started that. So that's all on you. We covered No Motherland Without, I believe. Did we give the update on No? What did you say the date was?
Early next year.
Early next year. Okay. How about the Franco-Prussian War as another game? Yeah, just need a designer to do it. I don't think we have a game in
Paris.
Huh? Oh yeah, on to Paris, which is currently in. Yeah, so I don't know, Jim, if you have our game on to Paris or not. So that's, I guess, a question for you.
The system victory game Civil War.
Yeah. Same system as Victory Games Civil War.
System, basically.
Yeah, so that one I have actually. You can see it right here on the Paris. So there's that one. Yeah.
And On to Vienna is one that is actually moving along very well. We've been working on it for 4 years. And
good.
Same system.
And then Ardwolf just mentions he got questions about Silent War just last week. So awesome. Learn more about Operation Storm 333. That's a good point, Jean-Sebastian. So there's actually 2 videos I'm going to add to the product page for Operation Storm. They're not there yet, but I did 2 separate broadcasts with the designer Christopher Davis. One was like a Compass Games Live introducing him and talking about the game. And a second video was going through a Vassal early playtest development of the game to introduce the game system and how it's going to work. So I will make those 2 videos available on the product page. So thanks, Ardwolf, for that. Eagle in the Sun, War for the Motherland. Yeah, that's Rampart Games, kind of like FGA. Yeah, and then MMP did a different named version of it as well. Fire in the Sky. That's I don't know about that one. Adam Starkweather would probably know better than I because he worked on that project. Huh?
MMP did that.
Yes, they did. I guess the question is, if they no longer have it, would you guys, do anything with that? I think is the question there because the game's out of print, probably long out of print, I'm assuming.
We got a lot of.
Yeah, here's some nice comments from George. He purchased Brief Border Wars. Can't wait for the sequel. So that the sequel by Brian Train, version number 2. He's already working on it. I shared those 4 titles as well. I think 2 were World War I, and 2 were post World War II. I want to guess if I got that right, but yeah, I could look it up. But it's not on pre-order yet for Border Wars Volume 2, but we hope to have it obviously fairly soon. So we're excited about that. Caesar to Alicia. I don't know if that's Avalon Hill again. So we're doing Siege of Jerusalem. We're going to be getting on that one. This is one I'd like to do actually, and have probably Gregory Smith involved as a designer. I would like to marry up Gregory Smith's talents with this topic. So maybe, I don't know if I would actually. It's sort of like what Greg's doing with his American Tank Leader game. So instead of copying Patton's best, he just decided, no, it needs to be better and different for various reasons. And this would be, I think, as a topic, I'd like Greg to take on Raid on Saint Nazir as a solitaire game. I think that would be very cool. I don't know, and Mark agrees. So Raid on Hasbro would be wonderful, because then I can get The Longest Day and a bunch of other titles from them. That would be wonderful. Let's see, including a feedback card with the catalog mailers. I don't think we have a feed.
No, that wouldn't work because of how it's mailed. It would just fall out.
It would just fall out, and we would lose them all probably. Yep. And thanks, Mark. We do have Empires and Alliances is basically a reimagined, bigger version of Guns of August by the same designer. So absolutely, thanks for mentioning that game. And yeah, a lot of people was the first game purchase. Absolutely. Zeppelin Raider, I believe you already covered this, Bill. You're just waiting for more you're waiting for the orders to go up more before.
And the other thing is, it's all time and resource driven too, where we agreed on African campaign. So that's a go. Okay. That's actually being worked on. Zeppelin and Pacific Tide will get done. It's just when they fit into the queue to get worked on. So that probably, the next one will probably be Pacific Tide.
Yeah. And then Greg needs to get working on Kamikaze Ace. So Greg, or one of his designer friends that works on the designs, maybe Greg, you can take note on that one for naval battles of Japanese. That'd be sort of a depressing, I don't know how you do a campaign. Would you do a campaign of Kamikaze Ace? I guess it's the lineage of the family after you're gone, after a successful mission, because you will not be part of the game anymore once you're done. So speaking of GDW, how about the Europa series? My understanding is the company that was reprinting that ran into issues. Could be wrong. So did you want to comment on that, Bill? If not, I'll be happy to.
Well, no, I thought they were gone.
Yeah, they're gone, but the trouble is there's a bunch of legal entanglements involved. So even if you try to get like the Europa series, there's so many legal nightmares and stories behind it. It would be like inviting yourself to get beat up with a crowbar on a good day, probably is what that's all about. And to be honest, the Second World War series systems out, which is like Europa, grand in scale. They've got the Knowledge Company, Diffraction Entertainment's doing sort of like Europa, but different or better, as they would put it. So Europa's not going to happen because legally somebody screwed the whole thing up so badly. It's just, as much as I'd like to get to it, it just can't be touched. It's just too much legal damage, too many horrible stories, unfortunately, behind it. It can't be approached. Let's see here. Fornova 1495 is a beautiful game. Great examples of play. Punching the Counters tomorrow. So thanks, Charles, for picking up Fornova. I think is there a game based on Fornova in the works? I thought there was, or somebody was asking or hoping there would be a new.
No.
Okay, so there we go. Please do more videos with Vassal playthroughs like we did with Christopher Davis. Great way to see how the game works. So absolutely. Thank you, Jean Sebastian, for the comments about Siege of Jerusalem. I'll be excited too. Nick Harp did Star Trader. I've been bugging him about Vietnam already. So Gregory Smith needs to get started on Raid of Saint Nazir. So I'd like Greg to start working on that.
Yeah.
So there we go. Yeah, that's a really popular title. So will Paper Wars have thicker counters, Bill?
Yes.
Yes. Great question. So Paper Wars will have thicker counters as well. Thanks, Art, for the kind words about our product pipeline. Much appreciated. Let's see here. Greg's working on Kamikaze Ace, so maybe he'll do that. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, you really can't get to the rights to Europa because honestly, Jason, you can look this up probably. I just know it through Console World Expo because I've had some of the owners of the system or the copyright holders, and the game Total War could never be released because it became total liability, all the legal problems, and then I think there was a shed fire or a warehouse fire on top of it, and just it's a really sad story. I don't like thinking about Europa because it makes me sad because I'd love to work on that.
Well, and that goes to my philosophy is I'm not going to get into bed with anything that I know is complicated. Okay, because if you know up front and so you're only going to hurt yourself. So I like clean things that I don't have to worry about.
Yeah, absolutely. So Task Force games, Jack's asking about them. Haven't looked at Task Force games yet. Definitely. I've been trying to look at Battle Line and Yaquinto games, but I'm not having any luck with the estate of S. Craig Taylor. So I wish I could have some luck with also I'd like to get a hold of like Bomber and stuff like that, or maybe just have Greg do his own thing with it, you know.
I like their Battle Line. I didn't like anything else they did.
Yeah, there you go. So anyway, I want to just put a last call out real quickly for any questions. So please post your questions. We'll do a final call, but we're going to get ready to do a giveaway, I believe.
Yep. And the giveaway is for Dawn's Early Light, which is shipping now. Okay. And the key is what game that we put on the 16 to 18 that have had the most pre-orders as of right now.
Okay, so let me show something here to help people out. So give me a second here, Bill, because to try to make this a little nicer for everybody, I'm going to sort of cheat here. So I'm going to scroll, and here you can sort of see added to pre-order list. So we've got Russian Campaign, Original 74 Edition, Victory at Sea, 1992 edition, both by John Edwards, Manassas by Richard Britton, American Tank Ace, Europe by Gregory Smith, Spitfire Ace by Ian Hodge and Gregory Smith, Interceptor Ace by Ferdinand Sola and Gregory Smith, War for America. I'm not going to remember everybody's names here. Great guy, but I'm drawing a blank. Everybody knows the name. I know his name. It's coming to me. Operation Storm, Christopher Davis, Eastern Front Battles, John Thiessen, Enemy is at the Gates, Adam Starkweather, CSS, Test of Faith, OSS for Arab-Israeli Wars, Silent War and IGN, Deluxe Second Edition together, Brian Miller, Blue Water Navy, the Pacific, John, drawing a blank. I've been doing 16 pre-order pages. My mind is shot. Sorry. 2040, an American Insurgency with, I know it's a new designer, Roma Vitrix and Flanks of Gettysburg. So here's, and by the way, I want to add that we do have one more pre-order title that's part of our Palooza that's going to come next week. So we have a 17th and final one, but obviously that one's not in the running because it can't be pre-ordered yet. So we're going to ask everybody, they're entering now their pre-order wishes. So we're going to wait a little bit here, and I'm watching the tally. So the rules are don't enter any comments other than picking your game from the pre-order list that you're seeing here on screen. And no other comments because it will just get confusing to try to weed them out. And we'll wait another 20 or so seconds with the delay. And then we'll see which of the 16 pre-order titles we have the most direct pre-orders on.
Yeah, I got. Yeah, that's
all right. So we'll wrap it up here. We'll give you guys a few more. Give another 15 seconds.
Yeah, you'll have to roll dice too.
Wait, why am I doing both?
What?
I thought you were only doing this.
We are, but if it's a tie, how are you going to break the tie? You got to go to dice if it's a tie.
Yep, got to go to dice if it's a tie. Alrighty, still got comments coming in. Hold on, Bill. We still got comments coming in. So when's Billy moving out again?
End of the month.
No.
End of the month?
No, probably beginning of the month. He's all
beginning sometime in October.
And Carolyn's over there every day doing stuff.
Is she? Okay.
Yeah, it's like we're buying a new house.
All right, everybody. Final call. We don't want. We're gonna stop right here. So thanks for voting on the pre-order game with the most. So everybody's gonna have to remember what they just picked because I'm not gonna be able to keep up, especially if it's like a common theme game here that everybody's picked. So Bill, we're gonna turn it over to you to unveil to us which game is the most popular pre-order out of the 16.
Blue Water Navy 2.
Blue Water Navy 2. Okay, let me go through the list and see who has it. Hold on.
I don't know.
Okay, we have Richard Savage has picked it. We have Ken Rappel has picked it. That's 2 people so far.
I got like 3 more right here.
Still checking. We have Stephen Chang has picked it. That's 3 people.
Richard Campbell above.
Richard Campbell.
Richard Campbell. Yep. Sorry, Rich. Sorry about that. There's 4.
No, Stephen wasn't in there.
Okay, so we have 4 people that have picked
Neil.
No. Who do you have?
Yeah,
I have 4 people. So everybody knows who picked Blue Water Navy. You know who you are. So how do you want to do the vote off? Do you want to do it through a number or the second most popular title?
No,
Dice.
Dice.
Let's do dice.
Okay, so everybody who picked Blue Water Navy, it's going to be a number between 1 and 100. So I think it's at least 4 people there that picked it. So the 4 of you don't put down your number yet. I'm going to count down from 5, and then when I'm done counting down from 5, you can go ahead and you can go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, those individuals need to pick a number between 1 and 100 who picked Blue Water Navy. So pick your number quickly, please. Just type in your number right now.
No, I know.
At least he's honest.
Yeah, well, we
knew.
All right, so whoever, there's 3 people maybe. So we've got 2 numbers. I think we're waiting on a third, right?
No, there's 4, I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're still waiting on the numbers.
Neil's one of them.
Waiting for Neil. Neil has okay, Rich. Are we waiting for Neil?
Yeah.
Okay, we have 4 numbers. So we have 46. We have here we go. We got 46 by Richard. We got Ken at 23. We got Mama at 49 and Rich at 62. So let's see what we get.
Yeah.
23.
No.
What's the number?
Oh, 32.
Yeah, 32.
The number's 32. Well, that's closest to this number anyway. 23. So Ken Rappel, he wins the what do we give away? I think it's the new release, right?
Dawn's Early Light.
Dawn's Early Light. So this is the way it works. Just to let Ken know.
Oh, he's tied. He's tied with Neil.
No, Tom D won. He had 32. That's what it was, 32.
We'll make sure he picked Rich.
No, that was after. That was 30.
Make sure Tom D picked.
It was after. No, there were 4 people. So.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay. Tom D.
Yeah, Ken, please.
Ken won. Ken won.
So Ken won. Ken, you won. And you need to send an email to sales@compassgames.com with your name, mailing address, and just mention tonight's broadcast town hall number 8, and that you're getting the free game, Dawn's Early Light. So congratulations. We have such nice people here. They're so nice. See, look at that. Am I not reporting, Neil? What happened with Neil's number? 20.
No, we misread it. We thought it was 32, but I think I said by accident 23.
Yeah, it's 32. It was 32, not 23. So.
Oh yeah, no, that
you would have had it right on the dot too. I would be pissed too if I was.
So maybe we should give it to both.
Yeah. So Ken did was the closest. Okay. We can do a recount if we got it wrong. But thanks for that. The roll off was important. So congratulations. Great job. Okay. Anything else?
No, but they have to set. Oh, Neil. No, it wasn't 23. It was
32.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 32 was the number. I think we said 23. It was misread. The dice, we had an error. We had errata on the die roll. The reading of the die roll was incorrect. It was not 23, which messed everything up. So we do need a recount. Can we do a mail-in? Can we do like a mail-in? Because I think mail-ins are really much more effective way to do voting anyway. And then we can know who the winner is. Maybe in the next 3 years, we can see who the winner is of the game.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Because I misspoke on the 23.
Yeah.
It was really 32.
Yeah.
Okay. I will give Neil the 20 because he had 23, even though it was 32 and I misspoke and said 23. I'll give Neil because he had 23 exactly.
Okay, so Neil and Ken are both the winners then. Okay.
Yeah, Tom D said he got 32 again.
I thought that was after the roll. I'm looking. Hold on. I know there's delays. Hold on. I'm checking.
Tom D wins.
We need mail-in ballots. I'm telling you, it's the only way this is going to work. So hey, let's do this. So okay. So Tom, just send an email, Tom, to us. We'll get it figured out.
Maybe, they wouldn't have mattered.
But I got a question. Did he put in Blue Water Navy? Because I didn't see Blue Water Navy up there for Tom D.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom. So let's see, Tom. So Blue Water Navy needs to be. That's the first pick. You're right. So that is. Yeah. It's based on the roll off. So Tom. It's a mess. It's a mess. Well, you know what? We're gonna do mail-in ballots for now on.
That's the funny thing. We have been promoted to the Federal Election Commission.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom didn't vote for a game, so.
Yes, okay.
Oh,
yeah, but that's somebody else saying that. You gotta make sure Tom didn't say.
Well, we'll check with Tom.
Yeah,
I think there was a chat on the dice, by the way, so that's why it was misread as 23 and not 32. There's a little marking on it. So Ardwolf's going to be our auditor, Bill. So Bill, just so you know, Ardwolf's, and then we have a Canadian contingent. We're also going to be represented by Canada as well to make sure we do this properly. So, but we're going to go through. So scroll up, Tom D. Tom D says scroll up. So let's follow up with Tom D. So Tom, do us a favor and email us if you could, Tom, because scrolling up and sometimes the messages get lost. So we'll have to double check anyway. So go ahead. If you got 32 and you pick Blue Water Navy as the game as well.
See it.
So what we're looking for, Tom, is we're looking for Blue Water Navy as the preemptive. You have to pick Blue Water Navy first to get into the die roll, to get into the roll off. So if you didn't pick Blue Water Navy first, you didn't qualify for the roll off round, which was that 32. So we're going to get this figured out by our next expo event, which will be 2040 probably. So.
Okay, so here's what we got. We got definitely Neil won because we're giving it to him, and somebody else. Oh, Ken won. Yes, Ken won. Ken's a designer for us. He
doesn't qualify. Well, you can't win if you're associated with Compass Games. You can't win a free game. Isn't that the rule?
Oh my God!
So that happens.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that ain't good. Now it's like nepotism or something, or like.
All right. Well, this was a cluster. We didn't necessarily go off a tangent, everybody, tonight, but I'd say the roll off was of historic, epic proportions. We definitely are going to go to a mail-in. So in 2 weeks, we'll do a mail-in on something. We'll ask you. We'll put the address for the PO box in Cromwell, Connecticut.
So
he just picked Blue Water Navy. There you go. So he's in there. So there we go.
Neil and Ken won, so we need to have them send their mailing address to them.
Okay. All righty. So
okay.
So that was great. So I think we're at the session wrap time. So again, thanks to everybody maybe who also joined us last week for Pre-Order Palooza. As I mentioned, we've had 16 pre-order titles. That's why that 16 numbers there. We've got a lot of pre-order titles on the website available. And Thanks for all the support and all your questions. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Bill, for the last word as always.
You know, you guys are great. Thanks for everything. We couldn't do without you. And I appreciate the time you spend with us doing this. And that's it. Have a good week. Stay safe. And see you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks for the next Town Hall number 9. And I'll see you next week on the 24th for our next Compass Games live session. Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Have a good
Good night.